The next is Bishop Frank L. Stewart.
This is one of the best days of my life to talk about this issue, because it's one of the things that have been irritating me so much, and I don't have a personal agenda against Latinos. Latinos are in my organization, but the fact of the matter is I live in Los Angeles, and I've learned a long time ago that Latinos have their own agenda. And not only Latinos, all immigrants, they do have their own agenda, but the fact is we are so overflooded with Latinos. Not only in Los Angeles, Dr. Milligan called it Little Mexico. I differ, I call it Big Mexico. It's about Big Mexico, and it's not about being against the individual. It's the impact that the outcome of this whole illegal issue is having on America, and particularly on black people. Now, they have their own agenda. What does it do? I see it every day. First of all, I see when Latinos get in positions of authority, a job, they hire their own people, period. They will hire their own people. They will not hire a black person. Now, black civil rights leaders, black people in general, we're some of the most generous people in the world. We hire almost everybody but our own people. And sometimes we hire our own people. And then we make excuses for getting rid of them when they make one mistake. And so, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and our civil rights leaders, I am sick and tired of them. Yes, I am upset with them. They are not promoting our interests. The fact of the matter is, and you know, they talk about uneducated blacks. It's not only uneducated blacks that's been impacted, it's educated blacks that's been impacted. I have a grandson that finished college, and he had to look all over the place for a job. Extremely bright young man. And one of the reasons he couldn't get one of the jobs is because he couldn't speak Spanish. And so it's just a fact. Latinos all over Los Angeles, when they get in positions of authority in the school system, in the government, and they have taken over virtually all of the city civil service jobs, guess who they hire when interview time comes? They hire their own people. Our next speaker is the most honorable Ted Hayes, that represents the homeless of Los Angeles.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, brother. I am Ted Hayes of the organization called Christmas at Tuck's Brigade. I give honor to my God and Father, Lord Jesus Christ, for allowing me to be alive to be a participant in part of the American greatest struggle. Thank you, Fair, for asking me to be here to share my opinions. In the Negro Cabanero, we as black people, we were slaves at once upon a time in this country. And over 600,000 young white men on North and South, and young black men, about 35,000, gave their lives and suffered in the idea of slavery in the United States of America. We cannot betray those people. We cannot betray Abraham who also died in that conflict. To do so would be a travesty. We will not be slaves in this country again, nor will we allow you, Cabanero, to be slaves in this country again. We're going to show what it means to be American. It doesn't matter what color you are, black, white, brown, red, blue. If you hear my voice, check this out. No matter what color you are actually black, white, brown, red, yellow. You are actually red, white, and blue. And listen up. These colors do not work.
You know, I sometimes feel like this is like 1868 all over again, and that we have Reconstruction. But instead, our rights and our civil rights are being deconstructed by illegal aliens. Now, for 12 years, I served as a board member for Wayne County Social Services. That's one of the largest social services in the country. And I can tell you right now that I cannot think of a single black family who received needed services to keep their family, their body, their soul, and their spirit together, that would give up and should give up those supports, their job training, their educational benefits, to keep their family back on the right track. They would give that up for illegal elements. I cannot think of one single family that would do that. I don't think you could. I don't think Jesse Jackson could as well. I'm sure those families on welfare have to be wondering, I wonder too, just how much should they take from an America that is willing to let millions of illegal aliens blackmail, we're talking blackmailing our nation, blackmailing them, walking out on a country, if millions of illegal aliens can walk out on America, black America, let's walk in for our civil rights. Let's give our children and our families and our communities and our jobs and our veterans, yes, our veterans and their families and our legacies, a well-deserved walk in and show all Americans that citizens of our nation can do and will do. That includes the black barbershops, that includes the black hairdressers, that includes all families in America. Yes, all families. Let us embrace our true civil rights legacy, which is to walk in and stay in the civil rights fight that Harry Tubman, that Reverend Martin Luther King did. My own grandfather, who was a civil rights advocate and a pastor for 75 years. And yes, there are others, plethora of others, all over this nation who are, by the way, legal Americans, who do not sneak into our country in order to take our resources and demand their country's language be adopted.
This very distinguished but very small group of black people are standing against an illegal attack against our great republic. And my question, my curiosity, my concern, and in 1977, hundreds of thousands of illegal people breaking the law, people who are criminals, were given amnesty. That was by President Carter. In 1986, millions upon millions upon millions of criminals were given amnesty, and the companies that hired them.
And Lisa Aaron.
Oh God, I can't tell you what a blessing it is. And I'm going to use God's name today because He's the reason that I'm here. I am an advocate for children. That is my work. I look at their faces every day. We go out in the streets and try to mentor to them, to assure them that they are valuable and that they have a place, when clearly they know ahead of me that they do not. We are trying to deceive the next generation of believing that we're doing the best we can for them, and we're lying to them, and they know it. Well, what does that say for my child? A citizen born in this country. My forefathers are buried here. We built this country. Now you tell me in 2006 there's no place for my son. But he can go to prison. He can do that. But he can't get a job. And then people want to know why he has a negative attitude. I tell you very clearly, walk a mile in his shoes, I think you'd be a little angry too. If it was your child, you'd be just as angry as I am.